Imagine you are walking into a crowded room. The air is thick with noise, laughter, and the chaotic energy of strangers. You are navigating the social landscape, perhaps feeling that familiar, low-level hum of anxiety that we all carry. And then, it happens. You lock eyes with someone you have never met before. In movies, they tell us to look for the sparks. They tell us to look for the butterflies in the stomach, the racing heart, the nervous sweat. We are taught that chemistry feels like an explosion, but this feels different. The noise of the room doesn't just fade, it vanishes. Your heart doesn't race, it slows down. You don't feel a surge of adrenaline. You feel a complete, absolute, and almost terrifying sense of stillness. It is a calmness so profound that it feels unnatural. It scares you because it feels like you have suddenly stopped acting, stopped performing, and have been seen for the very first time. If you have ever felt this haunting silence with a stranger, do not look away. According to Carl Jung, this isn't just attraction. This is a collision of the unconscious. This is your soul recognizing a part of itself that has been missing. To understand why this calmness is so rare and so significant, we first have to understand why we are usually so anxious. Carl Jung famously introduced the concept of the persona. The word persona comes from the Latin word for mask. It is the face we wear to meet the world. You have a mask for your job, a mask for your friends, and a mask for your family. These masks are necessary. They protect us. They allow us to function in society without being constantly vulnerable. When you meet a normal stranger, someone you might date, or befriend, or work with, what is actually happening is a conversation between two masks. Your persona is shaking hands with their persona. And the anxiety you feel, that nervous energy, that is the exhaustion of performance. You are subconsciously calculating, do they like my mask? Is my mask slipping? Am I saying the right thing? That spark or butterfly feeling is often just a biological alarm bell, a signal of uncertainty and the fear of rejection. But then, you meet this person, the person who brings the silence. The reason you feel this terrifying calmness is that, for some unexplainable reason, your persona has failed to activate. This stranger has bypassed your defenses completely. They are not looking at your mask. They seem to be looking directly at the self, the naked, unpolished truth of who you are. This is why it is terrifying. We spend our entire lives building walls to keep people out, to control how we are perceived. When someone walks through those walls as if they were made of mist, the ego panics. The ego wants to be impressive. The ego wants to be safe. But the soul wants to be known. The calmness you feel is the absence of pretense. It is the relief of putting down a heavy weight you didn't even know you were carrying. It is the feeling of being psychologically naked in front of another human being. It is the realization that you don't have to do anything to be loved by this person. You just have to be. So, what is happening here? Is it magic? Is it coincidence? Carl Jung would argue it is something far more ancient and powerful. It is the activation of the archetype. Jung believed that the human psyche is androgynous. Regardless of your physical gender, your unconscious mind contains the complementary energy. If you are a man, you carry within your unconscious a feminine image, which Jung called the anima. If you are a woman, you carry an inner masculine image, known as the animus. These are not just abstract ideas. Your anima or animus is a collection of everything that is other to you. It is built from the genetic memories of your ancestors, the experiences of your childhood, and the deepest, most dormant potentials of your own soul. It is the inner partner that you carry with you every single day, often without knowing it. Usually, this inner figure stays in the shadows, but occasionally, in a moment of synchronicity, what Jung called a meaningful coincidence, you encounter a person in the external world who aligns perfectly with the image in your internal world. This is the mechanism of projection. You are projecting your inner soul image onto this stranger. This is why the connection feels instantaneous. This is why you feel that eerie sense of déjà vu, the feeling that you have known them for 1,000 years. The truth is, you have known them. You haven't known them physically, but you have known the energy they represent for your entire life. You are not meeting them, you are remembering them. When this alignment happens, the result is that profound, terrifying silence. It is the silence of a key sliding perfectly into a lock. There is no friction, there is no noise, just a perfect, quiet fit. It is crucial to distinguish this from simple lust or infatuation. Lust is loud. Lust is urgent. Lust screams, "I want this, and I want it now." It is driven by biology and the desire for possession. But this Jungian connection is different. It doesn't scream, it hums. It feels less like a conquest and more like a homecoming. In this silence, the collective unconscious is whispering to you. It is telling you that this person holds the missing pieces of your own psyche. They represent the qualities you have repressed, the talents you have denied, and the emotional depth you have been unable to access alone. When you look at them, you aren't just seeing another human. You are seeing a mirror of your own potential wholeness. The calmness comes from the cessation of the search. Deep down, we are all searching for this completion. We wander through life, feeling like half a melody, waiting for the counterpoint. When you hear that counterpoint in someone else, the frantic searching stops. The noise of the world falls away because, for the first time, the music makes sense. This is why you must never let them go lightly. This is not a common occurrence. Many people live their entire lives without ever stumbling upon a projection this strong, this clear, and this calm. To find it is a rare gift from the universe. But as we will see, it is a gift that comes with a heavy price and a very real danger. Here lies the great paradox of the human heart. We pray for this connection. We write songs about finding our soulmate. We claim we want to be truly seen. Yet, when we finally meet this person, the one who brings the terrifying calmness, our instinct is often not to embrace them, but to run. Why do we sabotage the very thing we desire most? Because a mirror reflects everything. It doesn't just reflect your light, your beauty, and your potential. It reflects your shadow. In Jungian psychology, the shadow consists of the parts of ourselves we have rejected, our shame, our guilt, our weaknesses, our unhealed traumas. When you connect with someone this deeply, the light of that connection is so bright that it casts a long, sharp shadow. You cannot hide from yourself when you are with them. Their very existence challenges you to be better, and that pressure can feel unbearable to the ego. The ego loves control. The ego loves predictable, safe relationships where we can maintain our persona. But this deep, soul-level connection requires the dissolution of the ego. It requires you to surrender control. It feels like a death, the death of who you used to be. And so, fear sets in. We mistake this fear for incompatibility. We tell ourselves, "This is too intense," or "I'm not ready," and we retreat to the safety of shallower, noisier relationships. We choose the anxiety we know over the peace we don't. However, there is a critical warning we must address here, a warning that could save your life. We must distinguish between the terrifying calmness of a soul connection and the manipulative calmness of a narcissist. There are predators in this world, narcissists and manipulators who are experts at mirroring. They study you, they mimic you, and they create a false sense of being your twin flame to lure you in. This is called love bombing. They can make you feel seen, but it is a trap. How do you tell the difference? How do you know if the stranger is a Jungian connection or a predator? The answer lies in the pacing. A manipulator creates a sense of urgency. They will try to rush the relationship. They will push for commitment, push for intimacy, push to isolate you. Their calmness feels like the eye of a storm. It is surrounded by chaos and demands. The true Jungian connection, the connection of the anima, animus, has no urgency. It is timeless. It is patient. It does not demand that you change for them. It inspires you to change for yourself. It creates space, not a cage. If the calmness feels suffocating, run. But if the calmness feels expansive, like standing on the edge of a vast, quiet ocean, Stay. Do not let your fear of the depth make you retreat to the shallow end. So, if you find this person, and you determine the connection is genuine, what should you do? Jung's advice might surprise you. He wouldn't tell you to obsess over them, or to try to possess them physically like a trophy. The goal of this meeting is individuation. Individuation is the process of becoming your true, undivided self. This stranger is your catalyst. They have appeared in your life to activate the gold that is buried inside your lead. This is psychological alchemy. If this person represents your anima, your inner creativity, emotion, and intuition, then your task is to integrate those qualities into your own life. Do not just admire the light in them. Realize that the light is also in you. If they make you feel braver, it is because you are brave. If they make you feel artistic, it is because you are an artist. Do not make the mistake of thinking the magic lives only inside of them. They are the switch, but you are the current. The syzygy, the divine union of male and female energies, does not just happen between two people. It happens within you. By maintaining this connection, by facing the terrifying calmness and refusing to look away, you begin to heal the split in your own soul. Treat the relationship as a sacred vessel. Let it be a safe space where you can both put down your masks and explore the depths of who you are. Do not try to force it into a label. Just let it transform you. We live in a world that is addicted to noise. We are addicted to distraction, to the superficial, to the next dopamine hit. In such a world, silence is the most rebellious act possible. If you have stumbled across a stranger who makes the world stop, realize that you have found a rare treasure. It is terrifying, yes. It requires you to be vulnerable. It requires you to face your shadow. It requires you to grow up. But the alternative is to spend your life sleeping. The alternative is to remain safe, comfortable, and incomplete. If you are running from someone like this right now, stop. Turn around. Look them in the eye. And if you haven't met them yet, keep your heart open. Because when that silence comes, it won't ask for your permission. It will only ask for your courage. If you have ever felt this specific, terrifying calmness with someone, tell me your story in the comments. I want to know I'm not the only one. And subscribe if you are ready to explore the depths of your own mind.